Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. But sometimes you miss something. All 3 hours get posted every day upon the conclusion of the show, both to iTunes and in our own audio vault. That's a good thing. You can email the show if you like. JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at JCameronShow. WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. We good on YouTube, yay or nay? Looking good?
The forecast is cloudy.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe we're on YouTube, maybe we're not. You won't have to deal with these kinds of problems too much longer if that persists. Believe me, we'll get it done. But we are on Periscope at 979 ESPN Radio on Twitter. Periscope. What do you think of football practice today? I'll tell you what. It's interesting to me that you got your president and athletic director out there today. Well, all right then. It's interesting to me your head coach is spending a little extra time with the offensive line. You just talk about the optics. Listen, I understand Thrasher's been at practice before, and I understand that the interim athletic director's been out there before. Interesting after this game, they're both out there today, and that Willie's spending an inordinate amount of time with the offensive line.
Yeah, that they're there during the open media portion. You know, when I first saw that, I thought nothing of it because Thrasher, I mean, say what you will about whether he's more like TK or Eric Barron. You know, I think he probably sides more with the TK side of things where athletics he's more involved in. It's not irregular to see him out there. But if you choose Tuesday, right after another disappointing loss, during the open portion to the media, yeah, I guess that's not a great look. It might be circumstantial. The Willie with the offensive line thing, I 100% understand. Of course he's going to be.
Oh, he needs to be. If I'm Greg Fry, it's frustrating to me. I've got a patchwork group that's not getting it done. I'm mad at myself. Because obviously I'm not getting home to them and they're not improving their performance. In fact, they seem to be going backwards, understandably to some degree, because you got guys that have never had to start before out there playing. But at the same time, man, Tom, if I sat in there in the production room and you're an expert with all of that stuff in there and I am not, and I had to stand over you and just start you'd be like, come on, man, what are we doing here? You'd start to feel a little bit of animosity about that sort of thing. If I sat there and said, Tom, did you get this ad done today? And, oh, by the way, have you edited? My man, you might let it slide at first, but you'd be like, hey, what are we doing here? What's going on? Do we need to have a conversation?
Right. A lot of conversations are being had right now,
That's
I think,
correct.
right?
Yeah. And maybe the answer would be yes. But what I'm saying, if something was going wrong, yes. But it still doesn't make anybody feel good, and that's what I'm getting at. I'm wondering where they're at. I'm not saying it's a disaster. I'm saying a lot of people are having to look in the mirror. A lot of people in that coaching room have a lot of questions to answer. And Willie's amongst them, of course, chief amongst them.
Well, it rolls uphill or downhill depending upon how you're looking at it, right?
That's correct.
Sure that the coaches' meetings with Willie aren't great when the assistants are sitting in the room and the players aren't there. I'm sure that the position group meetings aren't going all that well when the position coaches and coordinators are with the players by themselves. And I'm sure that if Willie has to sit down across from interim director Coburn or President Thrasher, that room might be a little contentious and heated. It's just going to happen. It's the nature of things.
I think it'd be a fairly one-sided conversation at this juncture.
Well, depending upon who's speaking, right? Which meeting it is.
Yeah.
Willie to assistants to
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Definitely. It's definitely a lot of, it's a disaster on the field.
Without question.
I sure wouldn't like to believe that we're going to have infighting in the athletic department already.
On a lawn maintenance Tuesday, I ask you, this team beat Northern Illinois on Saturday?
Oh, man.
Sure they do.
I think so. Because I have to believe, and this is the rest of the week for me in what I'm doing as a Noel fan and as an analyst. They can't be making it up about trying something new. They can't be.
No.
Why would you even say that and entertain the option? If you didn't want to do that at the point where somebody asks you on Monday or after the game on Saturday if you want to change things up or entertain ideas about rolling people out of the pocket like Gene Williams did yesterday at the press conference, you say, our offense is our offense. People would be mad about that. They say, good God, he's stubborn. Well, good luck. But you wouldn't project it out to the public and say everything's on the table.
Right.
You wouldn't go that far.
No, you wouldn't.
It doesn't make sense. But I will say this. A lot of things so far have not made sense at all. So I'm prepared for anything to happen on Saturday, but I don't think we're going to lose. But I'm tired of like putting the farm on it or anything like that.
I'm very much prepared for a much better effort from the offensive line, as much as they can give me. They're lacking skill, they're lacking athleticism, they're lacking quick feet, they're lacking ability. They're lacking strength. They're lacking a lot of things that make up an offensive line that's even reasonably decent.
Willie comes from the Harbaugh school of hard knocks. I mean, literally lining up and just driving you off the football and off the line of scrimmage and playing pro style. So he has that in a binder somewhere in his coach's office. And I just wonder how many wrinkles of simple things you see. I mean, think about what Jim Harbaugh does in his history as a head coach in San Francisco, Stanford, and
He's
what he tried to do in
instilling
Maryland.
toughness is what you're trying to do.
But when you are down, when you don't have the talent that the other squad does, you go jumbo. Like you put more people out there. There are more big bodies out there. I just wonder, it may not be the bulk of the offense, but I wonder if in certain situations we don't see like traditional goal line sets or something crazy like that.
Do it. I'm fine with it. I don't need another ounce of flash. I need production. I need a yard. I need to stop being in 2nd and 15 and 3rd and 17. I need to be 3rd and 4. I'll take it. Let's go.
Goal line on 1st and 10 to get to 2nd and 6 and then try something.
You're damn right.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with it. That's doing something different.
Well, and you do have fullbacks on this roster as
right.
holdovers.
That's right. Oh, by the way, they had a team meeting as well. Just saying, you have the president, the athletic director on the field at practice today, Willie with the offensive line, and this all on the heels of a team meeting. These are never signs that things are going well. None of those things are good. But if it exacts change in the slightest for the better, I'll take it, and I won't be angry about it, and I hope it happens.
Well, it's to get into semantics, right? It's a players-only meeting. That's what it feels like on offense, is that it's players and not a team. And that's what they got to find. Because I do agree with the assessment from Coach, and DeAndre said it after the game on Saturday. Everybody's taking a turn screwing up.
Oh, sure.
That's 100% true.
Game Day Excursions hosted a huge blowout last year in South Bend for Georgia fans who wanted to do it right. And this year, Knoll fans, it's your turn. Premium bus transportation, a stock 4-hour tailgate, and more. Get your tickets today at GameDayExcursions.com for the Chicago to South Bend trip of the year. They have a hotel block exclusively for Knowles, too. Rates just $189 a night at the W Hotel. Be sure and use the promo code JCS at checkout to get $10 off each ticket that you order. That's promo code JCS at GameDayExcursions.com. We'll take a respite, go to the NFL, come back to college before the hour's up, and then we'll send you to Seminole Headlines.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
That's the sound of your hair reminding you that anytime is a good time to log on, check in, and reserve your spot at your favorite Sport Clips for a fresh cut, legendary hot steam towel, and massaging shampoo. No matter if it happens at the gym, while grabbing a quick lunch, or trying to line up a putt, you can't deny your hair. So do it a favor by checking in online at sportclips.com/check-in. We'll tell you when to arrive to be just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV. Check it out today and claim your spot wherever you are. Just go to sportclips.com/check-in. At Sport Clips, getting a game-changing haircut is easier than ever. Time to claim your spot!
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Having telecommunications service means one thing: staying connected. At AT&T, we know that some Americans face life every day without the comfort and security of having a phone or broadband service. That's why AT&T offers Lifeline. In certain areas, eligible customers may qualify for a Lifeline discount, which provides reduced monthly rates for broadband or phone service with optional toll blocking at no extra charge. Additional discounts may apply to those living on federally recognized tribal lands. To find out more about the Lifeline discount and other AT&T products and services, call AT&T at 1-800-288-2020 or visit att.com/lifeline if you have access to the internet.
Lifeline is a government benefit program, and willfully making false statements to obtain this benefit is punishable by fine or imprisonment and could result in termination of Lifeline service. Lifeline enrollment requires certain eligibility documentation and is non-transferable. Limited to one discount per household. AT&T services, including Lifeline, are not available in all areas. Other restrictions apply.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love?
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love, somebody.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
Notice, you and I have had this conversation, but it makes me laugh. And it just shows you the ill will. And I also understand that. Towards Jameis Winston. How many somewhat reasonably intelligent people somehow have talked about no matter what the situation plays out as, you can't have Winston back as your starting quarterback. And that's crazy person talk. In fact, you must. But you certainly are free to say that you take Fitzpatrick and ride this train as long as you can. I agree with that.
Which is what Deshaun Jackson said, but they're all taking that and running with it.
It's unbelievable. They don't listen because it doesn't fit what they want to say, whatever their narrative is.
You know, I can see why, obviously, the show Get Up has been condensed to 2 hours, and they kicked Michelle.
Did you see he apologized?
Did he apologize for putting Fitzpatrick on the
I cracked up laughing. So I, this morning, was running around crazy, right? So you and I follow each other. If you tweet something, it'll pop up on my phone or whatever, right? If I have my phone on me, I'll take a glance. Like, what is that? So you tweeted out that they screwed up and that Greenberg had noted that that was the best new addition to any football team was Ryan Fitzpatrick. And then you're like, yeah, it's amazing that the Buccaneers' acquisition of Ryan Fitzgerald from Tampa Bay was an amazing, whatever you said. So I saw that and I chuckled. And then anyhow, I went about my morning. I got my coffee, whatever. So I drop the kids off. I do a bunch of other stuff. And I'm walking past the TV, and it's on. And Greenberg goes, One last thing before we go, I'd like to apologize. I said earlier in the show that Fitzgerald was the best new acquisition for any team this year, except for he was on the Bucs last year. That's our bad. Somebody must have seen your tweet, buddy.
Maybe. Well, there were several. I checked to see if anybody else would notice that because, Tampa Bay Bucs fans know it, but other people probably don't care about where Ryan Fitzpatrick is.
And, by the way, when Fitzpatrick played for Winston last year due to injury when Winston was out, he was not this player. He didn't look anything like this. In fact, he kind of sucked.
No, but, dude, this was a major graphic on the screen behind them, and it was something they teased. And
they blew it. They completely blew it.
I mean, nobody in research understands that Fitzpatrick played for the Bucs the year prior? That's crazy.
And, by the way, Winston missed significant time due to injury last year. You would have had ample opportunity to see Fitzpatrick play and play poorly, as he does most of his career.
Yeah, but what Greenberg, I'm sure, did not apologize for is he used it as a platform to talk about the platitudes of why would you even, play Jameis Winston at this point given the off-the-field circumstances.
Yeah. And that's the whole point.
My man, you know why? Look at the back of the card for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Look at the back of the card, and also, by the way, in the games in which Winston played last year down the stretch, the last 4 to 6 games, especially the ones, he even played well in the games he was injured and still trying to play through. He was the second highest rated quarterback in the league by some measures, number 1 rated in others. Did he fumble the ball in the pocket too much? Yep, that's all you can say that's bad. Everything else was great. Quarterback wins is not a statistic.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. They're crazy. The idea that the Bucs can't take Fitzgerald off the field at any point and hitch their wagon back to Jameis Winston is absurd. Now, I agree. If Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to play, as he has through the first 2 weeks, as the best quarterback in the National Football League, better than Breeze, better than Brady, better than anybody, if he's going to do that, well, yes, I'm inclined to keep him on the field. Sure. It's just rather improbable.
Yeah, it's a no damn brainer. The question is, let's say he has another great game Monday night.
Which he's probably going to. The Steelers defense just gave up 1,000 points to Kansas City.
And let's say he plays, obviously, then against the Bears and Mac, and we hold up well enough that he posts a 110 quarterback rating, throws for 300 yards, 2 scores, and a pick. And now you've had a really good game, but not an otherworldly game.
Then I keep starting him. But here's what I will tell you. Your long-term commitment is to Winston. Secondarily, this offense is going to move no matter who's playing quarterback if you get a modicum of decent play because they're loaded. We now have an offensive line, and they've got weapons everywhere.
Yeah.
We said this in the preseason. Both quarterbacks looked incredible.
They did.
So here's the deal.
Hell, Griffin looked good.
He did. And I think if you've got a pulse and know the offense with this group of players, especially with O.J. Howard in year 2, Deshaun Jackson in year 2 in the system, obviously Godwin in year 2, all of these things, you got your line back.
Dude, and the crazy thing is, obviously we're not talking about Humphreys or Brate, which are reliable week-to-week NFL role players.
Yeah.
Justin Watson, the draft pick, that's a hit. That kid can play.
He can play.
That kid can freaking play.
So here's what I'll just say. At some point, Fitzpatrick, as he has his entire career, will reveal why it is he's a career backup for the most part and why it is he once threw 6 interceptions in a game and why it is that his back of his baseball card / football card in this case is what it is. Until that time, by all means, roll him out there. I dare say that if he was being honest with himself, Jameis Winston would agree. I dare say that what are you going to do? You're going to pull a guy off the field that has the highest quarterback rating in the league? No. Now, he's a competitor. He'll get himself prepared, all those things.
I think Jameis will speak to that end, and I think you'll believe it.
Because I think he wants to win.
He wants to win.
He wants to win desperately, and he also understands the deal. A guy playing at that level, you can't pull him off the field.
He's happy for Pitt.
They're actually friends.
Yes. Jameis is a good teammate.
Oh, dare you say that? How dare you say
right.
that?
Maybe a leader sometimes can be called into question.
Fair enough.
But he cares about his teammates.
And that's never been a point of contention at any level, anywhere he's ever been. It was also revealed on Hard Knocks. I mean, anyhow, so one thing to note. Here's what I think is kind of a fair prediction. Could get it wrong. We'll see. Maybe Fitzpatrick will continue to defy all logic. He's going to play well against the Steelers on Monday night. That place is going to be rocking. Todd Monken has done an incredible job of calling plays. They're aggressive. Those guys, there's a belief that's instilled now. They take the field confident. Always talking about confidence. The Steelers' defense doesn't look to be any good. So they're going to move the ball again. Now, the Bears' defense, on the other hand, is a different animal. And damn John Gruden. Because with Khalil Mack, this is an entirely different defense. If you watch them, they wreak havoc. They were already good.
Eddie Goldman's that much better of a player
It's
now.
crazy, right? So they're one of the best 3 defenses in the league, I think. They're going to go on the road, and they're going to have a problem. The Bucs aren't starting 4-0. They're gonna probably lose that game because we can't play defense, so that mitigates Trubisky's averageness. So
yeah, that's close. It's like probably a 20-17 type game, right?
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but the point is I don't think Fitz is going to light it up in that game. I think they'll go on the road and they'll have trouble. We won't continue to protect him in the way that we have, not against that pass rush.
No, and he took some shots this weekend, too.
Yeah, he finally, right?
Fletcher Cox almost ended his life.
Well, and remember, I mean, the Eagles have a good defense, so that's going to happen when you play good defenses. But he'll have an average performance. The best thing that could happen, if you're solely looking at it from Winston's standpoint, and I look at it from the Buccaneers standpoint, which is why I want Fitz to start this weekend, and then if he plays great, he's got to start the next week. If you're looking at it from Winston's standpoint, you don't want to come back on a short week and have your first game be against the Bears defense on the road. You are set up for failure.
Yeah, it's a short week for everybody else, not him, but I agree. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Everything is compressed. Everybody's routine is off and all that kind of stuff.
You don't want that. You don't want that to be your first game.
Footnote, 1 out of 5 analysts bring up Monken and or the offensive line.
And it's all Monken in the offensive line. And to Fitzpatrick's credit, with time, he's hit the right guy consistently, more consistently than he has at any point in his career, and that's great.
Correct. Yes, all of these things are true. You got a much better offensive coordinator calling the plays. He was already the offensive coordinator, but a much better play caller. Offensive line, much better in pass pro.
Vastly improved
and
across the board.
Fitzpatrick is hitting, he's throwing it through the tire. It's not touching
every
anything.
Time. He's unconscious right now. And you know what? When you get a guy like that, it's like a guy who's hit 7 out of those last 8 threes. Keep feeding him.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you do. Now, we all know at some point he's going to clang one and streak's going to end, and all right. But in the interim, you better ride that
You're
train.
stealing wins.
Yes, it's perfect. Keep doing it. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
But at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. Those 60 cents have been freeloading a ride in me for weeks now. I really don't want to be seen like this. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. It's beneath me. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split one order of wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. I've been telling you that Kraft Nissan is your new tire headquarters, and now through September 30th, buy 3 tires and get the 4th one for $1. We're talking Goodyear, Bridgestone, Continental, Kumho, and more. Plus, all tires come with free lifetime rotations. Kraft Nissan gives you 2 years road hazard protection on your new tires at no charge. I'm telling you, we beat the box stores and we beat the tire stores. And we back it up with the Kraft price guarantee. We beat any competitor's written or advertised price. Also, for a limited time with our express service, 5-quart conventional oil change with free tire rotations for only $36.95. And full synthetic oil for just $46.95. And no appointments are necessary. Plus, don't forget, you can check out all our service specials by opening our service special tab at craftnissan.com. So if you're tired of driving across town for service, want the very best factory certified technicians, come to Kraft Nissan. We service all makes and models, and we want to be your one-stop dealer for all your automotive needs. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
Hi, I'm Jesse Ross, owner and co-founder of Lake Tribe Brewing right here in Tallahassee. When my father, my 2 brothers, and I started Lake Tribe, we had one simple goal: to create great tasting quality craft beer that reflects our love for the great outdoors and have some fun along the way. If you're in town with 80,000 of your like-minded friends, stop by the brewery off West Tharp Street for a pint or a flight of our vast selection of Lake Tribe beer on tap. Or stop by at the next gathering of the Garnet and Gold. We're open Thursdays and Fridays 4 to 9 and Saturdays from 1 to 9. Lake Tribe Brewing, find your native spirit.
Pay off credit card debt with a personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. When you have a family, life adds up. A new semester of school, a new season on the team, and new goalie pads to go with it. Now your youngest wants to learn an instrument, and of course, she didn't pick the harmonica. Debt happens. It's how you get out that counts. Get a personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. Fixed interest rates and no fees, ever. Learn more at marcus.com.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
If you need a break from the stress of football season, and I think you do already, 3 games into the season, the Rock by the Sea Charity Musical Festival and Golf Tournament returns this weekend to beautiful St. George Island. Music starts on Thursday night with performances all the way through brunch on Sunday, and that will feature artists including Steve Everett, the Currys, Megan Farrell, and American Idol contestant Christian Lopez. I'm not knocking Christian Lopez. I don't know who that is. I didn't know American Idol was still a thing. Is that happening?
It's back now on a different network, I think.
Local favorites, the Brown Goose and the Tobacco Road Band, will also be playing the weekend. The Rock by the Sea Charity Golf Tournament takes place Friday the 21st at 9 a.m., St. James Bay, so that's this Friday. Proceeds from this year's event will benefit 3 great causes: the Franklin County Public Library, good cause; Music as a Second Language, good cause; and Camp Sunshine, which we all would agree is a great cause. Summer camp for children with cancer. For details and registration information, please visit rockbythesea.org. Rock by the Sea 2018 starting this Thursday night in St. George, rockbythesea.org. Do it up. If I weren't going to the game this weekend, I think that's what I would do. I think that maybe what I would do. I'd find a place that had all the games. There's plenty of places there.
Yeah, you'll be air conditioning this weekend, right? You're not going to go to the stands and bake and watch that,
no,
right?
I told my dad, no, he can have fun in the stands. I'll use my privilege, which is my press pass to find the air conditioning. I may find my way over to the Champions Club. If you see a brother, go ahead and hook me up with a beer if you'd like. You like that, calling it out?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So you have a hookup for the Champions Club?
I do every week, but I don't go every time.
Oh.
That's the kind of funny
Well, it
games
is the
we ever-
Tom Lang Memorial Champions Club. What the hell's going on here?
You know, you like to chill and watch a lot of different games. I don't think you would have fun in the Champions Club. You're
Well,
usually,
there are different games on in the Champions
they
Club, aren't
are,
there?
but you're not inside. I mean, you're still out
What, those
there.
TVs are on the outside part? Well, what the hell is that all about?
Well, it's good. It's great. It's in the shaded part with their fans.
Right, with the big fans and stuff,
air
but,
conditioning.
you know.
I mean, there is a little enclosed area, but it's usually packed, so it's more fun to be out.
I see.
Yeah.
They got cabanas and stuff out there, too?
The cabanas, no, they've got a lot of different kinds of good beer though, craft beer and the like, as you know, and then they've got different kinds of food. Would you just mosey on up?
Well, it's all inclusive. Yeah, I knew that part.
Just mosey on up and get you some food. Why don't you? The point is, it sounds like we all need a distraction from watching this football team, and in truth, I am intrigued to see how they look. I mean, this is ratcheted up yet again today. We'll talk about it here as this hour ends on Seminole Headlines, the same way Tom and I have talked about it in this hour, which is that the intrigue surrounding, and one of the questions that came in was, how do you guys talk about a lost season? How do you guys talk about the same disappointment every week, and how do you deal with that? And I said, basically, listen, if you remove your loyalties and connections to Florida State and look at it from an objective standpoint, say even a journalistic standpoint. Now, I'm allowed to have opinions, unlike journalists who write columns, columns you can, but articles. But there's a lot to cover here. There's a lot to unpack here. I mean, what kind of adjustments does a first-year coach make after having done everything right in the offseason and then fallen straight on his face to start his on-field campaign? What happens in the course of a season that is, no matter how they play, going to be an average at best campaign?
Well, we talked about this last week before Syracuse. You know, it's the fine line between setting your program back long-term and making it work with what you have. And, I mean, if they're willing to say, both head coach and offensive coordinator, that everything's on the table, that means that they're going to err on the side of the short term.
Got to salvage something.
Yes. It's akin to you're playing a hard golf course. You start out triple, regular bogey, and then a quad. All right, my round's screwed. I'm not going to fire a number today, but let's see what I can do with the rest of the round.
So that
to
I'm
make
set
something
up
out
for
of
the
it.
next time I play.
Yeah,
Do I figure
yeah.
something out? Do I figure out how to eliminate one of these mistakes and move forward with it, knowing that, okay, I've eliminated that. Next time, that's not in my bag. I can move, I know where the ball's going.
Good God, I'm on pace to shoot 80, and I've got 15 holes to go, and that's if I par everything. So that's out of the question.
Right.
All right, what can I do to avoid this crap that I've been through for 3 holes?
Usually there's something that's revealed itself, and you got to get it fixed, and you try to figure out what that is, what that solution is, also what's the flaw in the swing, whatever it might be. And you can do that in the course of a round. And then you will actually walk off the course on 18 feeling like you accomplished something on a day you shot 86. It's okay,
Right.
and there's a sense of accomplishment there. You're almost proud of yourself. And he's got to figure out a way, and the staff has to figure out a way to do that, to put together something that maybe at the end of the year from a record standpoint is not what anybody would have hoped for, but does show signs of life and can carry you into the offseason with a feeling of momentum. Without question, that's got to happen. And people are looking for it. They're looking very closely at it because it's the only thing that's keeping people from saying, without question, this group can't get it done. They're going to give them time. They're going to give them this year, and they're going to, well, first of all, they have to. There's no choice. They're not firing Willie Taggart this year. But they're going to want to say in the offseason, all right, I saw something. I saw some changes. Boy, they were dealt a bad hand. Man, this was a bad team. Man, that offensive line really couldn't give them much of a chance to beat anybody who was any good. And yet they found a way to win 5 games. Okay. Something like that is what we're saying. I don't know what that number will be, but
I don't know what the number will be, but the hard part here is typically if a team is guilty of certain basic things in the beginning of a season, it will be guilty of those, throughout the season. I don't know that lining up errors or delay of games or coaching mistakes. Usually when that starts, it's really tough for it to stop. Think about the false starts back in the day with Jimbo.
yeah, it happened
It was
forever and more.
contagious.
Yeah, it seemed like it, but alignment issues, Tom, I disagree. You can get alignment issues worked out.
Jimbo couldn't. We call a timeout every year but 2013.
And that was unacceptable. And so let's figure out a way to get our alignment issues behind us. Give me something. You cannot hurt your – see, some of those early Jimbo teams, some of the better Jimbo teams overcame those deficiencies of he and his coaching staff. The false starts, the stupid penalties, the timeouts out of a timeout, the delay of games out of a timeout, all those kinds of things, the special teams woes. They were able to overcome a lot of that because they were so talented. As those teams saw some of that talent go away, either to the league or graduation. They couldn't overcome those things against good teams, and they would lose games because of it, or they would narrowly defeat really bad teams. In many ways, I think that this all culminated to the season we're currently seeing, partly because of the previous coaching staff and their deficiencies, but also because of the loss of a guy like Dalvin Cook. So he covered up, for example, during 15 and 16, all of these problems that we had at quarterback. Jimbo's mistakes were incessant. Dalvin Cook saved the day time and again. They would have lost 6 and 7 games if it weren't Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook won them games, or else Jimbo would be looking just as pathetic. And I mean, there is no Dalvin Cook on this roster who was transcendent.
Yeah, we said that at the time, too.
Yeah.
Where would this team be without Dalvin Cook?
Oh, my God.
November after November, we would say this.
Won games by himself, literally won games by himself, or kept you in games that we had no business being in.
He won the 14 Florida game by himself, and Jameis Winston was the quarterback that day.
Yeah.
You know, it was that play in the Terrence Smith dropped pass that he returned for a touchdown. They went off the tight end's hands. And then he returned it all the way.
Slowly to the other end
but
zone.
Then it was Dalvin's efforts in the second half. That was Winston's worst regular season game, and it wasn't close.
Well, right. He
and
probably felt the weight of the pressure of the off-the-field stuff of that day.
And then 15 and 16, Dalvin, I mean, even the Florida game, that thing might have finished 3-2.
Yeah, Dalvin was the difference in every time you saw a poor performance, stupid penalties, bad special teams, delay of games, timeouts, all that dumbassery that we talked about constantly. A lot of it got overcome because of a star player named Dalvin Cook who would make a sensational play against all odds, break tackles, go 80 yards, find a way, and you'd win the game.
Yeah, and your defense regressed too. In 15, it was good. That was a good defense. 16, not so much. Inconsistent at best. And then last year, travesty.
Yeah.
So, you've had your defense regress, although that looks like it's on the way back, which
Once he gets some linebackers, he's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm buoyed by that.
They do need to – I agree with those that say they catch too many tackles. We need to start delivering some punishment here and push people back and play with a little what for.
Yeah, that the forced fumble that was later ruled incomplete asininely.
That was a forced
if
fumble.
That's a word. That hit surprised you at how ferocious it was, tells you how little we've seen those.
Yeah, we just don't hit people.
Yeah.
We don't. We catch tackles.
But we will stop the run. That is one thing.
Between the tackles, we will stop the run.
Harlan did say we'll stop the run, and he's been dead on in that regard. We haven't been tested since Hodges. I mean, the perfect throw down the sideline to get to the 1 yard line from DeVito is undefendable, so I'm not even going to count that. But since Hodges and Stanford's light 'em up attack, we really weren't tested last week through the air as much. So when we play a better quarterback, I'll be interested to see just how good we are in the secondary.
You won't see it this weekend from Northern Illinois. They hang their hat on their defense. These two teams are going to have a hard time scoring. It will be very interesting to see how Florida State tries to move the ball in this game. Obviously, it's going to look a little different. And Walt Bell was interesting today. I think he's right when he talks about the fact that nobody cares about your problems. Worst of all, most people are happy you have them. And he talked about his dad telling him, my dad once told me that nobody cares about your problems and most of the people are happy you have them. That's certainly true in the world of competition. Anybody you're playing is happy you've got problems. And you know what? Fans don't care about your problems either. They don't.
Well, yeah, and I mean, he said a lot of things, but he's a good talker. And it's time for action soon. He did say today, talking out of both sides of his mouth, that we will run the wishbone if we have to win some football games. Mm-hmm. But then he was asked about, setting back the program for long term. He said, well, that's the thing. We don't believe we're there yet where we have to do anything crazy. Well, I mean, I get the wishbone's crazy, man, but you're at a point where you have to abandon your principles to a large degree.
Yeah, but there were elements of the wishbone basically in what we were going to run. There are elements of it. And a lot of this stuff you see with the modern offenses are just reverting back to ancient offenses with some wrinkles, And so,
well, I mean, he's talking about old school, from the dark ages of football kind of stuff.
The wing T.
He was just trying to say, if you want me to run something absurd, we'll do that if we have to. But we don't know that we're there yet. Okay, well, color me interested to see exactly what the hell this looks like.
Let me ask you a question, because you and I are both intrigued by this. Would you have, since your quarterback doesn't show a willingness to run and doesn't seem to understand the offense in any way, shape, or form, and when he does run, shows a tendency towards not running hard or with conviction, would you run Cam Akers out there at quarterback 15 to 20 times a game?
No, because apparently he doesn't understand a mesh point either. You know, unless he's better in practice, but he was 0 for 2 in 2 key circumstances in game 1 against Virginia Tech. If we could pass protect and we couldn't run block, I'd say put James Blackman in the game. But we can't. We can't even pass protect.
Yeah, max protect maybe and hope to get, maybe hope to get a matchup.
I mean, I think you're going to have to start guessing. Like you're going to have to move DeAndre out of the pocket. We all know that. That's obvious. But you're going to have to guess and call quarterback design runs, quarterback sweeps. I mean, Jimbo would call quarterback sweeps
all the time and roll the pocket, man. Get him out there, move the pocket, give him 1-2s, and here it is, man. You got to read here. If it's open, throw it. If not, take off. We'll take 2nd and 7. The big thing is just stop the negative plays. When you look at this third down percentage, Florida State's 126th out of 130 teams, whatever that is now. It's not because they don't have some third down magic or the right play call. It's because it's 3rd and 14. It's never 3rd and 2. We're never attempting to convert 3rd and short. All of these are 3rd and long. You're not going to convert against anybody on 3rd and 14 with any degree of consistency.
Yeah, it's a philosophical flip that has to occur, and that is to throw on 1st down to set up a run. Right now, we were hell-bent. I mean, especially if you consider screens, bubble screens, an extension of the running game.
But
we're hell-bent on running to set up the pass. And it's got to be a quick hitter, some quick throws, because then maybe you can try RPOs at 2nd and 3. If it's a loss of 2, all right, it's 3rd and 5, you're to 3rd medium. But when you're 2nd and 12, you can see it wear on the players' faces.
Well, and it just sets up the obvious situation. You have no leverage, and the defense pins their ears. And they know the quarterback's not going to take off. So you got to start making that a threat. Now, you notice when the only touchdown was set up by him taking off.
Yes. Well, and again, this is another circumstance where the coaching staff, I believe, is saying everything right. But so damn what?
Well, but again, I'm not going to hold them accountable for saying the right things off the field because of my frustrations on it. What I mean is we're going to be mad about the on-field product. There's no sense in saying I'm mad because they're saying right things off the field even though the on-field's not good. What are they supposed to say? The wrong thing?
No. What I'm saying is, in his press conference yesterday, Willie said, absolutely, I'd rather run DeAndre than have him get hit standing back there. We need to move him out of the pocket. Right. Okay.
Well, then do it. Right. No, I agree. We're going to hold you accountable for what you say.
That's the right thing to say, but, I mean, if we're stubborn again this weekend and we're running the same crap.
I can't imagine.
I couldn't imagine what we saw at Syracuse in the second half, that the game plan stayed relatively
but you don't roll
similar.
A statement out there because after the Samford game, he said we're close, and he talked about the plays that were left on the field. After this game, he said everything's on the table. Those are two very different responses. I mean, I think he is saying, okay, I was wrong. I thought we were close. We're not close. You and I thought they were close.
Yes, that's true, but I also was buoyed by the fact that it looked like they were willing to scrap something on the fly if they needed to, and if you watch the game on Saturday, it looked like for 60 minutes they decided to stick with the game plan, whatever it was, rather than try something else.
Well, they have no choice now. You can't lose this game. I'm not fatalistically going to say that this is a do-or-die game. But within the context of this season, this season, if you have any hope at all to become something close to bowl eligible, which I know is a long shot, you can't lose this game. So you'd have to win this game. And then secondly, I do think that as the season goes on, the age-old, wins and losses happen for a reason, elicit response. I was texting you when we were playing Samford, and I said, man, I don't know that Willie can survive a loss to Samford. And I know that sounds crazy at the time, but that's an FCS foe. What that does to create a crisis of confidence in the fan base and a wedge between all the goodwill that was done in the offseason and then the on-field product moving forward, it's like it's all undone if you lose to FCS.
Yeah.
So he found a way to win it. This ain't far from that, man.
Well,
win this game.
You built up mountains of equity, so all you need to do is not terribly suck as a team this year. It's like, wow, okay, so you're going to push and max out your credit card right away.
Right now. You got that credit card. Discover said, best of luck to you. Here's $10,000. You used all $10,000 to fly to Tahiti. And now we got bills due.
Right, exactly. Keith Jones, I heard him say it, obviously, that Seminole, Front Row Knowles First Look, not Seminole Sunday anymore. It runs Sundays 8 a.m. and then Mondays at 6. But he said it right. It'd be funny if it wasn't so damn serious. That these problems are serious, but it is comical in its own way. So you almost kind of, you tune in Saturday or you go to the stadium and you go, all right, what the hell are we in store for today? But then it happens and you're through 3 drives of the game and you're screaming at the freaking sky.
Well, another first quarter of not scoring any points. Another one. I don't know that you'll want to continue to watch the team. How many are we going to start every game without scoring a point in the first quarter? We're going to start every game, go 3 and out? Every single one?
Yeah. You know, I saw Corey's tweet yesterday. Corey Clark, he put out a tweet that showed the breakdown of USF's rushing totals for the season, you know, in 2015, 16, and then 17.
They were always able to run the ball. They pounded.
Right. It was USF, Oregon. They ran for 3,000 yards or whatever it was each of those 3 seasons. They
always could run the ball.
Well, what you're learning is if he has an absolutely terrible offensive line and he's got to scrap and go from scratch, the adjustment period is quite steep for Willie because live or die, you know, in terms of going 10 wins or 6 wins, he's going to run the football. But he can't. We can't run the football.
Right. And
so what do you do?
Yeah, and in that sense, I feel very bad for him. I don't think he thought at a place like Florida State that the offensive line that he inherited, let alone the injuries that have happened since, could be this bad. I'm sure he thought, no way. How could they be that bad? I mean, I've been at USF when I took over a program that Skip Holtz left high and dry that had won 2 games, and my offensive line enabled me to at least run the basics of my offense, which is a run-first offense. I went to Oregon the year after they won 4 games, and I was able to install my offense and run the football. And when my quarterback was in there, we were really good. In fact, they were number 1 in the Pac-12 in the red zone. They had prolific offense.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have possibly thought I'll get to Florida State and I'll inherit something so far beneath what they had at USF and Oregon that I can't even run the basics of my offense. Now, it's up to him to adjust, and we'll hold him accountable for that. And I don't know how he didn't recognize maybe in the spring followed by all-fall camp that it wasn't there.
Yeah, you got bowl practices the spring and fall, and for me, that's an alarming long-term question is, do you know what you're watching Monday through Friday?
Yeah, but again, remember, we were told by everybody that they had successes in practice. Now, maybe that was solely situational, and they were fooled into a false sense of security. He knows now.
Yeah, the defense wasn't really tested with tempo this past weekend. Like Syracuse's offense didn't look anything close to what we were used to seeing from last season when Dungy was healthy. I just wonder. Were we just so bad across the board that any success at all was actually a harbinger of terrible things to come? And we didn't realize that the curve we were grading on was at like a 65, low D, high F grade.
Yeah, I do believe that they are shocked by what the production level or the lack of production level has been. I think they thought they were certainly a lot better. I think it's evident in his comments. I think it's evident in on his speaking tour that he thought the offensive line, quote, will be better than you think. At least that's an acknowledgement that he knows it's the weak link. But he also thought they'd be better than we thought. So he knew why we thought the offensive line was bad, because he had seen enough of them in spring plus film to know they're not good. But he didn't think they were tragically bad. And then the injuries happened.
Well, and then your first guy off the bench for guard is a defensive tackle.
Well, that's not him. That's on Jimbo and Trickett. Like, why is that? Why is that all we have left?
Apparently, because I mean, we have other guards who have scholarships here.
They're all playing tackle. I mean, our starting guard,
right? Because our starting left tackle, he was starting at right tackle on the second team today in practice.
Yes, and our best guard had to play tackle who got hurt in the first game. Then you subbed out your best guard, your other best guard to tackle to replace him.
As John Gruden said on Sunday night, hindsight is 50-50. Did you hear that?
Did he say that?
Yeah. Hindsight's 50-50, but you might have wanted to keep Landon Dickerson in the interior and just figure it out at right tackle. If he was going to be bad anyway, maybe you at least in the interior have a fighting chance. You know,
I get back to you should have cheated in the offseason. Found some way to get somebody in school late.
Dickerson at tackle versus Kelly in the interior instead of flip-flopping him. I mean, Kelly at least had played tackle before.
Yeah, but he's a lost soul now, man. He's hurt, but B, he still hasn't recovered from what he got hurt with last year. He's slow and not the player he was. They don't have tackles. That's where we're at. I mean, one of them got kicked off the team.
Yeah, and a starting guard is a defensive tackle.
Yeah. I mean, so in that sense, man, it's a catch-22 because we can hold you accountable and we can tell you got to do better and we got to tell you got to adjust. But then when you lay it out there that you're trying to do all of that with that group.
He's been transparent about things, largely speaking, I would say, right? Yeah. Save for, the re-kick thing and then the replay review where you're at least calling to question, are you being 100% forthcoming with me here? But I think it's really important this weekend, win, lose, or draw, unfortunately, that you have to say that. That you see some of the changes that he's posited actually on the field instead of running the same old stuff. You got to try. Even if it fails, give me something.
Well, you can't give me what you just gave me.
No.
You can lose a game. You just got to do it doing something different.
I mean, these things are damn near draws and delays with the mesh point, how long it's taken in the backfield. And if you can't block, that's giving a free second and a half to the D-line and linebackers to just run free into the backfield.
They just tee off. Let's do probables before we wrap it up and head on over to Seminole Headlines, which you'll like. By the way, a lot of levity in headlines, so it's not all so weighty. Fire it up, good sir.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Red Sox, Yankees, ESPN's happy. Executives just unbuttoning their pants. It's Yankees, Red Sox. All right. Evaldi and Happ. We've got Royals, Pirates. Buccos come back and win last night. Skoglund pitches for the Royals. Jameson Taillon. Fine year, young man. Goes for the Buccos. Mets, Phillies. Oh, you two got a little side wagers. The Phillies are circling the drain.
That's correct. Well, we just did it again last night. Conforto, 6 RBI.
Nice. Steven Matz goes for the Mets. Aaron Nola goes for the Phillies. Jays, Orioles, Aaron Sanchez, Dylan Bundy. White Sox, Indians, Rodon and Kluber. Twins, Tigers, Odorizzi, that's his name. Do it, Jeff. Daniel Norris goes for the Tigers. Nats, Marlins, who cares? Steven Strasburg favored big on the road if you're looking at the numbers. Sandy Alcantara goes for the Marlins. Get it together, Braves. 3 straight losses, and yet their magic number shrinks to 7 because nobody in the division wants to win a game. Austin Gomber goes for the Cardinals. Anibal Sanchez goes for the Braves. You can hear the game right here tonight, beginning around 6:20.
Yes, you can. Pitching a major issue for the Braves right now. Nobody can pitch.
Reds, Brewers, Michael Lorenzen, Chase Anderson. The Rays can't lose. The impossible dream is probably still impossible, but 6.5.
6.5 back of what, Oakland?
Wild card, I think it is. The Rangers. I mean, they got the Rangers. You might have to win out.
Just force them. Force them to do the job.
Yeah, make them do it. Blake Snell is going tonight.
Yeah.
Yvonne Gallardo is still in the league, going for the Rangers. We got the Mariners and the Astros. Mike Leake, Josh James. Astros decided to push back Garrett Cole. The Astros are only up 4 games, and they're like, no, we got this. They want to win the division first, guys. Cubs, D-backs, Mike Montgomery, Matt Arrizzi. Angels, A's, Skaggs, Hendricks, Rockies, Dodgers. Come on, Colorado, get it together. Probably not tonight. Kyle Freeland goes against Clayton Kershaw. And then the Giants and Padres, Derek Hall and Joey Lucchesi. Hey, good work out of you, sir. Good work, Matthew. Coming up next, Seminole Headlines. Stay tuned.